Do you ever feel unlucky? Do you ever feel life is so unfair to you? Do you ever ask yourself, why was I born uglier, poorer, shorter, dumber, less privileged? Do you ever wonder why you were born into such a horrible family and had to go to such a terrible school? Do you ever wonder why you were born where you were born, look the way you look, and speak the language you speak? Well, you might have been hearing all these questions thinking, I don't know what this guy's talking about. Or you might have answered yes to one or two questions, but it doesn't matter. Because what really matters is what you did about it, how you handled the questions. See, the answer itself to these questions is not awfully complex. Is life always fair? No. Are some of us born uglier, poorer, and less privileged? You're kidding me, of course. Are some of us thrown into less favorable circumstances in life? Old news. So we know the answers. They shouldn't surprise anyone. There's no danger in the answers. There's a great danger in starting to enjoy the idea of being less fortunate or less privileged, and to use it as an excuse for failure. Victimhood very conveniently gives us a free pass, doesn't it? It absolves you from guilt or obligation. It's much more convenient to attribute failure to factors that seem out of your control. It's much easier to blame an invisible culprit, be it God, fate, nature, history, culture. That doesn't mean we can't point the blame to visible culprits. Sometimes we turn against our own family. We blame mom and dad for not doing more. We blame the entire society for not doing more. We blame the government for not doing more. Of course, and they should, you would say. Why? Because I am a victim. I would not be here if it weren't because of someone's fault. If this sort of describes your attitude, let me explain what it's going to do to you. It'll make you a victim of a perpetual cycle of failure, a never-ending road to nowhere. It's a game-quitting strategy that turns defeat into a habit that is so self-destructive that it will seal your fate very early in life. Habits are powerful. They're powerful because they perpetuate a specific form of behavior that leads to specific outcomes. They program how you act and react to certain events with little to no effort. Hence the idea of programming and automation. Once the habits are formed, your life, or at least certain aspects of it, is set on autopilot. Sounds comfy and convenient, doesn't it? Well, it pretty much depends on the nature of habits formed. Are they destructive or constructive? Constructive habits will bring many of the great things all of us work hard for, success and happiness to name a couple, and destructive habits are the ones that bring failure and misery to name a couple. So how do we form those constructive habits? Well, I can talk for hours about how to build positive habits, and then I'm sure you just get bored and click away. So instead, it'd be better to tell you the one destructive habit that you must, absolutely must stop. And here's what it is. Quit the blame game and get to work. But before you get to work, ask yourself what you want. What is it that makes you happy? What is it that makes you live in peace with yourself? What is it that you look forward to waking up every morning for? What is it that you will look back and not regret doing when you finally realize your journey in this world has come to an end. And this can be anything. It doesn't have to be being rich, owning houses, being married. It certainly doesn't have to be what others expect you to be. It cannot be what others expect you to be. You cannot be living someone else's life. You cannot be chasing someone else's dream. You must have yours. You owe it to yourself, but also to the world, because the greatest and most consequential and transformative work the world has ever witnessed was always brought into existence by people who were pursuing their own happiness. So get to work. Start working on what makes you happy, and stop worrying about what others want you to do or expect you to be. Your life and your future are yours, and yours only. They're not your parents, not your cousins, not your neighbors, not your colleagues, not your societies, no one's. They're only yours. So if living your dream and doing what you love to do and being who you like to be may come at some cost, like not being your daddy's or mommy's favorite son or daughter, your boss's obedient and loyal employee, your teacher's top student, your wife's greatest prize, so be it. Because you are the one that matters. No one asked you for your permission to bring you into this life. And you need no one's permission to live it the way you want, without the fear of disappointing anyone, no matter who that is. Failing to live your life the way you want to live it is the first step towards victimhood. Snap out of it. Get to work. Find your calling. Find your passion. Go out and live your life. Take risk and fail, but blame no one for it, even yourself. Fail and learn and keep learning, not blaming to succeed. And when you finally do, praise yourself and everyone that's made it possible for you. But especially you, because you deserve it. That is a constructive habit. Fail, learn, not blame, succeed. Praise yourself and be grateful to those who helped. And when you show passion in your acts, you will always have believers. Act. Find your calling. There's nothing more tragic than growing old and still be wondering what your life has been all about. It's even more tragic to grow old and realize one day that all that is left from youth was a few Facebook selfies. No more destructive habits. No more blame. The buck stops here. It's your life. You are in charge.